crazy. From 7 in the morning till 3 o'clock, becoming very active. Very active. Many are now initiated. North Indians and Bengalis in particular. And then, wait, I think she's here. Mother Sumitra. There she is. You're down for tours. Haribol, thank you for taking part. And then Subhadra Priya. Remind me, where's she from now?
This is the wife of Baba Singh Prabhu.
Oh,
Yeah, well, she's down for congregation. She actually distributed a book. She sold a book on New Year's Eve at about 10 o'clock after night. Very wonderful. And then, again, some of these I don't even know. I'm part of the new Indian community. Shukla Mataji, Shreya Mataji, Sahasranam, I don't know, man or woman, I can't.
It's a man.
You never know these things. Sahasranam, he's also in Paris. Huh?
Yes, a Bengali active.
Active Bengali devotees. There's so many of them now. And then we go down, and that you'll see a picture later on. And I think she did more than that. We only got record of her doing one. But I think she did more. We just didn't get a report from Priyarani.
She did only one.
Only one, okay, we'll leave it. But there's a picture of her doing the only one. It's quite one of the unique pictures of the man. Bhakti Sabine, and she is living in Grenoble. Is that right? Grenoble?
Yes.
I was thinking of the pronunciation rather than the place. Can you understand that?
Grenoble.
Grenoble. Grenoble. Grenoble. English man. And then in Paris, is that properly written? It's not written properly. It's not Pronto. That sounds like some Mexican name. Pronto. Ladia. Pronto? Ladia, I think it is. Pronto. One of the Indian comedians. And, oh, look at this.
Oh, yes.
Which Paul is this?
It's the Paul from Paris.
From Paris.
Yeah.
There's one Delhi man. Is he homeless also?
No.
Eknath. He knows all the homeless people in Paris. There isn't one of them who doesn't like Eknath. He gives them no end of pizzas and donuts and all sorts of things. They all love him. They all take books. Only he can conquer the homeless of Paris. He's amazing. Anyway, he's not homeless, but he comes every day to the temple in Paris. He met somebody. Who did he meet? You or who?
Yes.
He met Danitai on the street, and Danitai got him to take one book for distribution. So he took it. Paul. And then another one of our Indian community active member in Paris, Paramakaruna Prabhu. And I don't know who this is either. Ninti Upal. Who's Ninti Upal? Lyon. They're from Lyon. Remember Lyon. One of the members in Lyon, Ninti Upal. And in New Mayapur, Bhakti Marie. Huh? Marie? And, whoa.
Wow.
I'm talking about Napoleon. Excuse me. No, we have Napoleon tigers, so we have to have an elephant. Tiger. Don't tell him that. He's my friend, we're good friends. Last year he was very active.
Yeah.
But the government cut off his tickets, these food vouchers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they used to give him that food vouchers. They stopped giving them. So he would bring every day. Sometimes he'd bring 5 or 6 vouchers and buy Bhagavad Gitas to distribute every day. But they stopped this year. He could only afford one this year. Anyway, he means well. And then also in Paris, Ishita, that's Mataji, Ishita, in Paris on the last moment. It was amazing. Gopal Dasi is known to most of the older devotees. 30, 40 years. Pujari, part-time Pujari in Sasa. And I said, Gopadas, you always distribute at least one book. He said, oh no, that's sure I can. And then some another, on the story. It was an amazing story. She somewhere on the last minute, somebody came up and what was she doing? Something. She showed them a book and they put Deb, where's back to Deb? Still here? He was a volunteer, was he? One of your volunteers. And also in the new Mayapur, we don't see him here in the temple. He's very busy, serving here, there, and everywhere. He also did one Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. And Ananda's group in Paris, one Bhagavad Gita. Adarsh, who always does at least one every year. He's a congregation kind of French devotee in Paris. One Bhagavad Gita. And then Balaram. Who's Balaram? Who's Balaram?
He's on Sankirtan. He's
He's
on
on the altar?
Sankirtan.
He distributed one book? Anton's son. Oh, Hari Bol. Anton's son, Balaram. Ki Jai. Yes, well done, Balaram. And then in Paris, he came back for a couple of days. Last year he was very active. But he moved to India a few months ago. And he came back just to tie up some paperwork. And he went out for a little while. And back to Bible. Here we go. And in Yoga Lyric, she also was with us a few times on Harinam, but also distributed 5 books. Indravali Devi. From Ukraine, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
From Ukraine. And here, oh my goodness. Wow. You got your father fired up. This is Prirani's father. Harinam Prabhu. Haribol. Whole family of devotees. And then here in New Mayapur, Rasikarani Devi. Haribol. Where's Rasikarani? Is she here? Does she stay here? Yes? Where's Rasikarani living?
So Rasikarani is 8 years old, also Emperor's daughter.
Oh, wow. Goodness, you got a big future Sankirtan party growing up there. Marvelous. Rasikarani, Anton's daughter. And then in Paris, we have 2 devotees by the name Arjuna. This is the Bengali one. Arjuna Prabhu, he's initiated devotee.
Arjuna Saka.
Arjuna Saka. And in Yoga Lyric, very enthusiastic, but anyway. Oh, with 5 books to Igor. Getting plugged in there. Also Yoga Lyric, Atmarama Prabhu. And here another Sue Devi. Sue Devi, Tulsi Devi. Which one is that? There's so many Sue Devis. Who is Sue Devi, Tulsi? Who knows? Anyone from New Mayapur? Sent in from the...
Maharaja, she's not from New Mayapur, she's from Nice. Yeah, there is one Indian from Paris, one from Yoga Lyric, and
I know then there's 4. There was one sent in on a long list. It was on Gita Jayanti Day, I think. About 12 devotees. And wherever she's from, whoever she is, Haribol. And here in New Mayapur, Chandragati Devi, Haribol. Is she here today?
She's in Martinique.
Pardon?
She's in Martinique at the moment.
Is she? She's in Martinique. She's coming back soon. And this is amazing. Back team from Yoga Lyric, under Yoga Lyric. Back team Sudana, Haribol.
The same.
you skipped it.
Did I skip him?
Yeah.
Oh, I skipped. I went from Sudevi to Subhadra.
Yeah.
I see. That's right. We're going from Vrindavan to Dhaka. 2 Devi in Vrindavan, Subhadra in Dwarka. Okay, in between, there's a little space in between, on the journey. Okay, back we go. Where do we even missed out, I think we missed out one or two others too. Keep an eye on me here. We've got the Sudevi Tulsi, the Sudevi Mataji. And yeah, I went from one Sudevi to another Sudevi, then to Subhadra, then to Janananda. Too many S's on this list.
On the 16th.
So then there's Pranapriya in Paris. Ooh, I guess another one of our Indian community there. And then this is who has this story to tell?
Harini.
Back to Mohammed. Come on, Harini, what was this all about? Who's this Mohammed? We have a Mohammed, but that's not him.
No.
It's different. He's not in Paris right now.
He's one student from uni and then he was.
Harini was at a university.
Yeah, I distributed to him. And he was. He said, "Can I please help you to distribute books?" And then he called his friend, and they started both to distribute books. And so they distributed 2 Bhagavad Gitas, and they got also 5 euro donation for each Bhagavad.
2 of the students he sold books to then started distributing books. Back to Mohammed, Muslim boy. Let's see. And then Ishana. Not sure, man or woman, I don't know. In Paris. And also in Paris, Baba Sindhu Prabhu. And also in Paris, Sudevi Mataji. Coming out quite often with on Harinam. And then also in Paris, Nama Upasana Devi. And the mother of the French Yatra and the Russian Yatra combined. None other than Mandakini Devi! I got her last week. She was trying to escape without finishing her quota. We gave her a quota of 5 book points. She didn't know it. And so just as she was about to board the plane, she flew it to Russia. I don't know. Something towards the end of the month, she flew to Russia. And I said, Mandakini, you're still 2 book points short of your quota. What are you going to do? She said, oh. I said, which way are you going? She said, going through Turkey. So I said, okay, take some Turkish books. So we gave her 4 Turkish books to distribute in the airport in Istanbul. I presume she did it. Hare Krishna. And then another Sudevi. Sudevi Manjari. This one's under Yoga Lyric, is that right?
Yes.
From Yoga Lyric. And then from Paris, Ragni Mataji. And then from Tours, Radharaman Babu. And from Yoga Lyric, Ludmila. Ludmila, you know? Ludmila? She says she's something to do with Yoga Lyric. I don't know who she is. One Russian lady, I think. Russian name, isn't it? Ludmila?
Yes.
And here in New Mayapur, Krishna Kirtan Devi. And in Paris, Gaura Chandra Prabhu. And here we go again. Subhadra Sundari. Where's Subhadra Sundari? Is she here? Pardon?
They
Fly to where?
UK.
Went to the UK, okay. Okay. And then, we read this before, didn't we? We were up to Susanna. And then, I guess she was here for your festival, was she, Varduhi? I saw her just as I arrived. And she knows she can be a very good book distributor, by the way, but she's busy with other things. But she was here for a few days for the festival, presumably. Bhakti Varduhi! Haribol! And then actually from Nancy, but related to Yoga Lyric, isn't it really? She came out, well she didn't really come out, she took the books to distribution. Bhakti Pris! Haribol! And then we have 98. Another one of the new congregation. We have in Paris is Rasa Prana Prabhu, a devotee from Delhi. Experienced devotee from Delhi who's staying with us in Paris for as long as he can. Has really built up the Indian preaching in Paris quite almost too fast, isn't it? It's almost you can't keep up with it. It's just people are coming like rockets, and all these new persons coming, and classes in Hindi, classes in French, classes in English, in Bengali, all languages. 4 classes on Sunday in 4 languages. So he's really pushing the preaching there like an infant. And many of these are members of his own group. So Bhakti, I think it's a lady, Shrisa. And then in Lyon, Bhakta Louis, Jai, future king. And in New Mayapur, Vajramani Devi. Where is she now? Das? Excuse me, Prabhu. Where is he? Is he here? Who's Vajramani? Is he here? Is he a Bengali?
French.
And in Paris, Dr. Biplov. Where's Vajramani from? He's not from Avignon, is he? He's from Avignon. Okay.
He lives in Pelvoisin now. He lives here in Pelvoisin, 15 kilometers away.
He lives nearby.
Yeah, he's my god
He
brother.
was in Avignon before.
Yeah, he was Avignon.
And then in Paris, Tamal Krishna Prabhu. And no, he doesn't live in Dubai, he lives in Paris. Dubai after. Petit Pavanadas. They put Dubai to distinguish him from the other Petit Pavan. And here in New Mayapur, Gaurangi Devi. Another one of the new members in Paris. Bhakti Rashmi. And another one is the South Indian one. Lankanathan. And from New Mayapur. Dynamic book distributor for the future. And you never know what's going to happen now. He started his book distribution career after a flashing start here. Actually, he tried to imitate me. He got jealous of me, and he sat down there and tried to imitate me, but he didn't quite catch up to my standards. Something at least. None other than Shantapa Prabhu. That's the biggest ever book distribution store. Fantastic. He didn't know he could do it before. No, he did exactly what I was doing. He sat down. He's got such a good voice. He sat down singing for a few hours. People came up and gave donations, and he gave them books. And in Paris, well, he came out one couple of hours. Sri Kamadevi. Oh my God! Wow, this is. I think it's an increase on last year. I'm not sure, but here, there, and everywhere from South India to Mayapur, to New Mayapur, with a total there of 23 books. Bhakti Sangita! She deserves a birthday. Where's your birthday? You got to give her a birthday. I ain't got anything. Oh, well, there's all sorts of things over here, but I don't know what they are. Well, I don't know if there's a birthday for everybody. I don't know. I guess everyone would. Well, she's no objection. That's how she just does books. Doesn't wait to answer. And as I said earlier on, a little bit whilst he was here, and a little bit on the plains here and there. Janananda Prabhu. And another new member from Paris, Dr. Tushar. And here in New Mayapur in the shop, I guess. Oh, dear Nandini Devi. And in Paris, one of the residents, a few of the Indian community are residents there in Paris, living in the temple, and this is one of them, Priya Bandhu Prabhu. They could have done more, they forgot to take the books for their Bengali program. And Yoga Lyric got fired up, I think on the last day, wasn't it? The last day got really fired. She met somebody who was got a book from the boys on Sankirtan, coming every day to Yoga Lyric. One of the boys or girls distributed a book in Paris, and now that person's coming every day to Yoga Lyric. And they're really fired up. And so she also distributed books, maybe to them or somebody else. Rasalila Devi! And in Paris, was very well known, member of a Bengali community, Rajendra Madhava. And in Paris, Gauranga Gopal Prabhu. And this is one of the small, maybe by numbers, but impressive by endeavor. Still gets the books here from here and connects to this temple. Alone there in Tangier in Morocco. Bhakti in Hind. And she distributes only English books. English and French. And French, mostly English. At different events, she goes occasionally to yoga groups and things like that. And then we're now in the top 78. You see there are 58 altogether. We were hoping for 151 minimum, and there was exceeded. Gauranga Brahman Prabhu, who's one of our full-time prajaris in Paris. When we get to the story of the Gita Jayanti, he has a very significant role in that story. And then in Paris, this is the other Rajya, a young boy, 12 years old. That's his right-hand man, as he says. Distributed 9 Bhagavad Gitas. Prema Moy Narotam, another of our Bengali, new Bengali active member. Also with about 17 books. Haribol. And Mohini Murti. Is it Mohini or Mohini Murti? Probably Mohini Murti. I'm not sure which Mohini that is. I think it's Mohini Murti. Yes, it is. She had a quota of 20 and she did it on the plane going to America. Haribol, the last one. And then in Lyon, the son of Eric. Yeah, Eric's son. Young boy, how old is he? 7?
4.
Only 4 years old.
5 actually.
5 years old. Distributed 10 Bhagavad Gitas. And then Sundar Gopal Prabhu. Is he here? Oh, he can do more than that next year. Normally does a few more than that. But he's so busy with the restaurant and other things in his life right now. So otherwise he could do that with his eyes closed in 5 minutes. I've been with him on Sankirtan sometimes, even on Sarsal Temple, railway station at the railway station. And it's like, just go to any old person. 5 years, Bhagavad Gita. Goes to the shopping malls and the car parks. Let's see what Krishna's plans are. Can teach the devotees how to do the car parks of the shopping malls. He's excellent. And then in Paris, Bhakti Manaswini, Hari Bol. She's also from Lyon, studying in Lyon. Yes, she studies in Lyon. Yeah, she studies in Lyon, but she put Paris on the entry of it. She's from Lyon. And with us for a few months, Pujari, young German man. He would go out on Harinam regularly. Sometimes he was one of the runners with the books to the city, the capital of the city. And he would love to distribute magazines and whatever he could. But he also did Bhagavad Gitas when no one was looking. Yasodanandana Prabhu, Yasomati Nandana Prabhu. Haribol. He had to leave on Christmas Day. And in Paris, Bhakta or Bhaktin, I don't know which one it is. Bhaktin Neelam. And here in New Mayapur, well, she managed to do some books despite the situation she's in. Normally quite a big book distributor when she was living on the south coast. Gokularani Devi. And in Paris, busy bee she is, but still determined, and she did her 20 points. Basumati Manjari Devi. They couldn't come to the festival, her and Jiva Pram, because they're just so busy there in the temple, and everyone else came, almost. Many devotees came. So they stayed back to do service there. And here in New Mayapur, wow, this is wonderful. Brishabhana Sutta Devi. Is she here? Where is she? She was here just now. I saw her earlier on. And then also in Paris, Bhakti Isha. There you go. And this is a mystery score. It's because they ordered books from Nitai Sachi Sutra. And obviously this one. In Nancy, Janananda and Abhyasat Devi. Well, they're not officially disappearing with us, they're still buying books off of us. And here in New Mayapur, I don't know if she's here today or not. Is she here? Bhakti Helen. And this is one of the most amazing contributions to the marathon. In many ways. As you probably know, during the December period, for last year actually, the husband of Annapurna, Krishnapad Prabhu, has been critically ill for a year. And he passed away. What day did he pass away? I don't know. Just
The
before
night
Christmas?
from 24 to 25.
25th. I know it was the 1:30 in the morning of the 26th. It was the Christmas Day, and then just in the morning he left his body in hospital. This is Krishnapad. He left his body at 1:30, 1:44 to be exact, in the morning of the 26th of December. He left his body. But when he was in the hospital, Janananda was visiting him a few times. He was in the hospital for several weeks before that. He was visiting him, and he kept, Krishnapad wanted to distribute books. He said he wanted books, like distribution. So Janananda was bringing books, and he was distributing books to the staff in the hospital, nurses and doctors and so on. So that was his last, last marathon. Krishnapad Prabhu Ki Jai! And then, also only with us for a short while, for quite a while during the marathon, but not going on books much, was Mahananda Prabhu. Into a new phase of life. He left the Saratli. And this is your record marathon score, is it?
Yes.
I think so. Maybe not. Maybe. Oh yeah. No. You did a bag of a town one.
Yeah, last year, but it was
Actual book distribution on the street. This is a record. The secretary or treasurer? What are you? Don't know.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Officially, I'm the treasurer.
Officially. The treasurer of the Paris temple, Rohini Nanda Prabhu. Going on here. Just to mention your name, the screen went off.
You see what you did, Rohini?
What's happening now?
It collapsed.
Nothing's happening. All gone blank. You made everything go blank. Is it back on?
The police came.
Huh?
The unplugged. The police came.
The police came and Rohini Nanda has a lot of relationships with the police in Paris. As soon as they hear his kirtan, they can't resist it. They come running to the kirtan party. Even that day when you're asked to stop, I was just meters away. They wasn't even to me. I've been there all day. He just started doing the same thing like me, and they came and said, "Stop." There's a rasa. Maybe we'll have our different rasas. Is it back on?
Yes, almost. What?
I told you we should use the projector. What's going on, boys? Anything happening?
Yes, Marge.
Okay.
What's happening?
It's
Bye bye.
Rohini is
Back to life again. The police let you go. The police let you go. And then he only came out for what, a couple of hours? With a local boy?
Yeah.
Yes,
He was in Paris with his mum, and I phoned him up and he said, "Oh yeah, I'd like to come out for a little while." So he joined us for a couple of hours. Back to Baptiste! We'll book this to her if you want to
Yeah.
do it full time. Just doesn't go out much.
he came for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta appearance.
He
The
was
big
just-
day. The big day that we
on
have.
that day he
Yeah,
came.
on that day.
And then, New Mayapur, she's not here. She just joined us for a few days from Czech. Kamala Sundari Devi! There you go. We've been staying in New Mayapur for a long time. It's And then we're in the top 58 now. I think this is the daughter of Yogimurti, is it? Or no? Is it?
Krishna Baba.
Yogimurti's daughter, Krishna Baba Devi. Haribol. They were here with us for a few months, and then he just left back to, they're going to England. And from Mayapur back to Mice. Haribol. And from Paris, every year he takes part in his own little way, best he can do, and he takes books and distributes them here and there to relatives and others he knows. Maharishi Prabhu! Haribol, he's Prabhupada's disciple, he's initiated by Srila Prabhupada. He loves to take part in the book. And here in New Mayapur, Krishna Charna Vinda Devi! Here's the first entry from Reunion. Jai Jagannath Prabhu and his wife Subhadra Mai Devi. And here in New Mayapur, whoa. Didn't make your quota though this year. You didn't make your quota. You haven't gone full time. Here in New Mayapur, in India and New Mayapur. Gandharva Kala Devi! Haribol! You're a little short of your quota. Where that you are. Yogalit, Bhakti Anastasia, Haribol. And in New Mayapur, Manjuali Devi. And in New Mayapur, Janananda Prabhu. And in Tour. Are they living in Tours or are they living here now? Where are they living?
They come sometimes, they have a house here.
Yeah, right, so they're still in Tour. In Tour, Indrani Devi. And her husband, Sakshi Gopal Prabhu. Combined. And in our congregation all the way down there in Rodez, in the south of France, Mukunda Madhava Prabhu. Oh, that's a good score for him. He does markets, they do all the markets, they cater in the markets. And, well, look, not only was he living in the cave, he escaped from the cave sometimes. He got out of the cave once in a while, and he did a phenomenal score. Look at this. A Chutu Kavaro. Incredible. When should we tell the Gita Jayanti one? Should we tell it now or what? Gita Jayanti was a spectacular day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And as many of you know, because you also took part, even here in Mayapur, you went flat out to try to distribute books here. I know you did wonderful endeavors. But that was Achyuta Kesava Prabhu's special day, wasn't it, Achyuta? Well, I'll just mention that part. I took a group, how many of us? 3 of us? There were supposed to be 4, the other one didn't turn up. So 3 of us, we went to Sorbonne University. I can never Jussieu, I don't know how you pronounce it. Jussieu. It's the biggest kind of sector of the university. Fantastic place for distributing books. And we just camped ourselves there for 3 hours. You can't do anything much more than that because it's quiet up till 11:30 and quiet after 2. So we were there between 11:30 and 2:30 basically. And in that period of time there was Priyarani, Achyuta what's your name? Achyuta and myself, we were there and we took big bags of books and Priyarani distributed, I don't know if you did all of them, you did do all of them there, did you? The Bhagavad Gitas. Priyarani distributed that day 64 Bhagavad Gitas. 90% of them at the university. And Achyuta Kesava did 24 Bhagavad Gitas. Monday was a special day. We've given the devotees a license to distribute the books of anything that the people give. Right? Some people gave buttons, some people gave matchsticks, some people gave a punch in the nose, different people gave different things. But they all got their Bhagavad Gitas if they wanted it. So So we distributed about 100 Bhagavad Gitas there in about 2.5 hours. And on that day, Harini went to another university, went to Nation, didn't you? That day, Nation. And she distributed 138 Bhagavad Gitas. At the university, most exclusively. So where are we now? We got to Achyuta Kuvera, wasn't it? So now we move on. Oh yes, despite this being engaged 22.5 hours a day, still found time to distribute books. Rasa Parayana Prabhu in Lyon, a Lone Ranger with his son and help from others. Back to Eric. And here in New Mayapur. Couldn't be left out of the marathon for the life of him. Goswami Prabhu! Nothing like being a part of this wonderful, wonderful yajna sacrifice. A lot in the hospital. Was it in the hospital? Medical University in Tours. Wow, he went to the medical university and distributed there. That's fantastic. Wonderful. And I spoke to this devotee marathon starter. I said, I guess this year he had some problem, some operation or something recently. I don't know what it was, some kind of operation. And he said he probably won't be able to take part. But he did anyway, more than usual, much more than usual. Raja Dharma Prabhu. Oh. Well done, Raj. I don't think he's with us today. And now, every marathon, rain, wind, snow, come what may, he takes part in the marathon. And again this year, none other than Jyoti Prabhu! I remember about 4 or 5 years ago we were together in Bordeaux. You remember that? That was quite an experience, wasn't it? We had a traveling partner. Rishanasana Prabhu, you were with us too. But he wasn't doing many books in that marathon. We had yourself, Tushta Krishna, Tim in those days, Tushta Krishna, you, Jivananda, and myself. We had quite an interesting Sankirtan party. We travelled all the way down to Porto, spent 10 days or something there. Quite something. Okay, then we have, and this is really impressive, I was really impressed. She wanted very much to come on the marathon from the Mayapur. Came up to Paris maybe for a week, and with about 40 books or more, Kasturi Manjari Devi. Considering she doesn't speak any French, and her English is okay, but most people struggle to understand it if they're not English speaking. She did so really well. And then all the way from Australia, they have their website in operation. They have a website selling French books, still going. So on their website they sold 1 Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, there's a story behind that. Achyuta and Rasikananda will know more about that story. That they also have one person who wrote to them and wanted books. His name was Eric also, I think, from Brittany.
Yeah.
He came all the way to the temple in Paris and he bought every single book that we had. No, I don't mean quantity, but I mean one of each. We did them like 10,000 Bhagavad Gitas or something. That's how we actually did it. Don't tell anybody. We did nothing. We just sat down and Eric bought all the books. We just sent the scores in, you know. No, it wasn't like that. But he bought, and this is a ridiculous story. Vijay, you'll be kicking yourself for this one. Vijay Prabhu was so eager to get a Chaitanya Charitamrita set in French. And I contacted BLS, we contacted Mirepoix, we contacted various places, nowhere did they have one. BLS said, no, we told you before, we got none left. However, in the meantime, they found one set of French Chaitanya Charitamritas. And that was sold, they sent it to somebody then, I didn't know them. But then again, we contacted them from Vijay and said, that's it, no left at all. None whatsoever. And then she found one more, but somebody already ordered it and took it behind our backs. And that was Jiva Pran. So let him say it to Eric. Anyway, Eric can't read a word of English, so there you go. So he bought the Bhagavatam set, one of everything. If we had 100,000 books, I think we would have bought them all. He was so into it. And so where are we now? Where do we get to? Vedali. So that's Chitra Lekha Sati, is that her name? Chitra Lekha Sati. The daughter of Chaitanya Nitai, still preaching in France. And here's another Subhadra. Subhadra Ishwari Devi in Paris, Haribol. And in New Mayapur, Kripa Mai Devi. Wow, wonderful, Haribol. Is she here? Kripa Mai? Who's Kripa Mai? My memory's faded out, I can't remember.
Spani Bhushan's wife.
Pardon? I can't know. I know her. I can't remember who it is. Let me have a look at the story. Oh, one Bhagavatam set. That's why you don't know them. You don't know them. No, they're not from France. They took a Bhagavatam set, so I put it on their name. And then again, this is a little cheating going on here. We recorded this score at the end of November, but I put it in December so you could get in the marathon. Devashi Prabhu is one marathon. Yes, it's not your fault. If anyone criticizes you, you tell them it was my fault.
I was thinking it was his fault.
Yeah.
I take the blame.
Yeah. And then in reunion, Daini Prabhu and Vrindarani Devi. And a little while out on Sankirtan in Paris and a couple of books in Czech, or Slovakia maybe. Mahadevi Devi, Haribol! And you didn't quite make your quota. I should have told you what your quota was. You're 8.5 book points short of your quota. But here in New Mayapur and in India, Janananda Prabhu! Encouraging all the devotees here. And in reunion, Pavana Radha Devi and Radha Prabhu. Oh, it's interesting, they put the names different ways around. I guess it's who's doing the main distribution comes first, I don't know. Reunion, they did their quota. Just that. And another one who did their quota. In Blois, but under the Paris temple, they identify with Paris. Amala Bhakti Devi! She goes out alone on the streets of Blois and this year. And she actually does it, and she collects well. He came back like 2 or 3 times in the marathon to get more books. And in Normandy, perhaps one of the veterans, definitely one of the veterans, who's kept the book distribution more or less going here in France during the last 30 or 35 years, more or less. None other than Nitai Goswami Prabhu! And again in reunion, a real soldier of book distribution, but help not allowing her to do as much as she'd like to. Dayalu Radha Devi! Haribol! And in Paris, this was another incredible, unexpected participant in the marathon. She regularly comes to Paris. She identifies with a temple or yoga lyric or whatever it is in Paris. And she lives in Switzerland, but she was with us for about 2 weeks. And she was going out regularly with Chandramukhi. Chandramukhi was taking her out. And she became very, very enthusiastic, very, very enthusiastic about book distribution, with about 120 or more books there. Bhaktin Anna! And here you have the chariot driver, one of the chariot drivers. We won't mention the rest of the story yet. Incredible. Came up to Paris, stayed in Paris for the whole, more than 3 weeks, almost the whole month. Came up with Ramlila, driving, he was her chariot driver, you could say, driving her around everywhere and anywhere, never knowing where next it would be. Wonderful, and also distributing books. Ananda Manjari Devi! Popping in and out from Holland, incredibly enthusiastic, we never expected it. popped into Paris for once or twice during the marathon and took a few French books and distributed them elsewhere as well. Ananda Vrindavan Devi! She lives in Rotterdam. Where is she? Here? Where is she? Where is she? There she is, and her mother is also sitting here, Gita Govinda. They live in Holland. But Ananda Vrindavan was so enthusiastically distributing books, so she speaks a bit of French, but not much. Distributing like anything. And then in Paris, Maharaja distributing Bhagavatam sets to the Bengali community. Jagadish Krishna Prabhu. There you go. And here in New Mayapur, I didn't know you were going to take part, but eventually she did take part, and quite substantially also, with 60 Gitas. Chitralila Devi. And Yogalir, very busy. His wife is also expecting a baby very soon. And Yogalir, very, very busy, but working full time. Still finding time to distribute books. The temple president of Yogalir, Patita Pavana Prabhu. And here in New Mayapur, I don't think he's here today, is he? Is he here? But obviously going here and there, I don't know, we're going to Goa and Chateauroux and here and there distributing books. Madhavendra Puri Prabhu. One of our Jyoti and Fanny Bhushan, our Food for Life team, doing books wherever they can on Food for Life or Gita Jayanti. Fanny Bhushan Prabhu. He's a good book distributor. He was putting time into it. Very good. And our temple president in Paris, who was super duper busy, incredibly busy this month. It's the end of the year, so he has all the financial things to tie up for the businesses he serves and so on. But still finding time to go on Sankirtan whenever possible. Now we're getting to the top 20. So 235 book points. Jiva Pran Prabhu! Wonderful. Such a wonderful example, isn't it? Such a wonderful devotee. Hare Krishna.
When should we give
Oh,
this?
I don't know.
Should it be like after all?
Yeah, how many have you got?
After.
Okay, so now it looks like gifts have appeared. Some of these devotees are not here, like Jiva Pran.
Yeah.
And neither is number 19. Number 19. Well, number 18. I have a gift for number 18. I didn't bring it up. Right?
I mean, the main gifts are like this for the top 5, and then for the rest are basically just
Well, if somebody can zap down to my room, they can bring the gift for number 19. Number 18, excuse me.
upstairs or.
Is it my... No, it's in my hut. I should have put it. I have this amazing gift for number 18. He deserves a gift after all, and he's working so hard maintaining the management here whilst Lotan and Gandharva were away. I'll give you the key. Here's a...
We heard it. Namacharya knew.
Don't tell anyone. Hide it. Don't show it when you bring it up. Okay?
There are bugs everywhere.
Huh?
There are bugs everywhere. Namacharyas control this place.
He can close the place. I better be careful. I better come to Mangalarti more often. Here, you better get a key. Here's the key. Here's the key. You gave him one? Okay. Yeah, don't be too long. Can't hang on to number 19 forever. In 19th place with 276 book points and 90 Bhagavad Gitas and other books too. In Paris, escaping from home whenever he can. It's almost like that, by the way. One of the oldest book distributors in the French Yatra. You know him very well. In 19th place. None other than Sundar Prabhu. I think find a picture of him there. There is indeed a picture.
Yeah.
Look at him there. He's in the middle top line there. He's wearing spectacles. Not the one, the little one, the big one. Yeah, both Indian, they both got spectacles, and they both got grey coats on. They both, is it grey hair or a grey hat you've got on there? Oh, grey hat. Yes, Chakradhar goes out on Sankirtan whenever he can. He's been distributed. He was in the first marathon when I came, which is 2017. The first one we instituted after a long time. He was one of our 3 prime book distributors in that marathon. Chakradhar, Acharya, as some of you know, most of you don't. You remember Acharya quite well. Acharya Prabhu, and you remember quite an amazing devotee. Acharya and myself. We were the 3 big guns in that marathon. And none of us could practically speak French. I mean, Chakradhar does, but it's French. Better than mine, but you know. And anyway, we were the 3. On the last day, it was neck and neck. We were in ISKCON. We went to Champs-Elysees on New Year's Eve. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And you know, and Acharya was top on 365 book points for the whole marathon. That was the whole marathon, 365 book points. I was on 345, and Chakradhar was on 351 or something. So it was a really tight fight on the last day. And Acharya did nothing at all that day, 0 books. I did about 25 book points that day, and Chakradhar did about 11 book points. And I overcame them both at the last minute and won the marathon. Whoa! Total 370 book points or something like that. That was our first marathon. We went here and there. I was traveling, even Nitai Sachi Sutta, we went to Metz, Nancy, Luxembourg, that side for a week with Nitai Sachi Sutta and Kim. So that's number 19, and there he is, real determined book distributor. And then in number 18, phenomenal. 1 week of his busy schedule to go out to the battlefield. Quite a contrast to Mayapur, the streets of Paris, and inspiring all the devotees. I think we must admit that. Drove the books up as well, with 139 Bhagavad Gitas. Basically, that's what he was doing. And that's in 6 days, so you can see it's over 20-25 a day. And doesn't speak any French. Just sheer sincerity and determination. With 278 book points, Namacharya Prabhu! You can't miss him on the pictures. It's the one with the yellow. He's one of the yellow jackets. Yellow jacket. Shall we call him yellow jacket?
Yes.
He's got the yellow jacket. Yeah, the yellow jackets. You go mostly Saint Michel? Saint Michel. They speak a lot of English in Saint Michel, so more people speak English. And then where are we now? Oh, we'll play. He'll be here shortly. 17th place. I don't know if he's here today. I haven't seen him.
He's feeling a little bit not so well.
Not
His
feeling
body is
well,
not.
okay.
Yeah.
But in 17th place, his first marathon, and although it's very, 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 very difficult, just doing books in Paris is not the easiest thing to do, but it's very difficult. He was really trying very, very hard, and some days he was just doing quite a few books. But overall, it was a challenge, but he continued to go, and he continued to help in various ways. In 17th place with 355 book points, a lot of Arabic books there, I can see. That's the distribution. Back to Christopher! Is he there on the picture?
Yes, no, that's right.
Oh, top right hand corner.
With his best friend.
Top right hand corner, that was his friend, yeah. That was his friend. And then lay out. Well, eventually the boy bought the book. It took 2.5 hours, but he did buy it. I 2.5 hours he was talking to us. Boy, we were all around him just doing books.
He also took prasad, sandwich of Ramali.
He took some. It was nice boy.
Yoga lyric.
Oh yeah, nice boy. Maybe he's 10 over there. And then in 16th place, there's a Tamil tiger. A Tamil tiger here, really like a Tamil tiger. He's a young lad. He's from Sri Lanka. He's only 83 years old. 83 years old. Yeah, that's good. You got both of them. This is also a prize. Well done. This is a prize for Namacharya. A saffron jumper. Nadine here. Nadine here. Hey, go here. Haribol. Hold on here. Hold on. There's more to it than meets the eye. That the wrong way. Here we go. Where is he? Don't worry, there's more to it yet. He's not eaten yet, but he'll be eating later on. There he is. Give him a break. Give him a scratch. Here she is. Whoa! Congratulations.
Now you have to fill it up, huh?
Yeah, I took everything out, so everyone else, we're going to go around afterwards, we're going to ask everyone, please fill, what's her name? What's her name?
Surabi, I think so.
Surabi number 2. Okay, you have to fill her up with money, okay? Everyone please dig deep and put some coins in Surabi, okay? Starting off with Kubera. Come on, Kubera. Push some money in there, quick. Australian dollars will also do, no problem. Stick it in now. Come on, get the ball rolling.
You can take notes as well.
She'll moo if you put enough in there.
Yeah, she will move.
They have these mooing cows at the manor. You put money in, go moo. This Gopalananda Prabhu from Sri Lanka. And he was going out regularly, right? Achuta. Get back here. Gopalananda was regularly going out, wasn't he? Taking books regularly. And he's only 83 years old. Listen to that one. He's 83 years of age. And he does all the gardening at Paris Temple. And he goes out regularly distributing books here in the mountains. It's amazing. There we go. Surabi gets her first meal. Wonderful. Come on. Pass her around and we'll have a go around with the camera. See who gets what. We know who to go to next time. Maybe Jay's Lodi, he's a millionaire.
And not only coins. Everything goes
Not
in
only
there.
coins.
Paper goes
You can
in.
give coins.
Can we drink it? Or?
Drink the milk, you have to put something in, you get milk if you put something in. You can't get milk without feeding the cow. Feed the cow, you get milk. There's not much in here. Oh, what's going on? These poor men. Making so much money. Come on, somebody's got some money. I'm not joking, we're protecting for the cows. This is for the cow. We heard this morning how Prabhupada said this was so important program. This is for the Gosha. This is a trip. Devarshi, I'm sure you're loaded. You're loaded.
I was not saying.
You weren't informed. You were not prepared. Look at that. Whoa, whoa.
I give everything.
Holy stuff. 10 cents. 10 cents. Well, we have a lot more, don't worry. And then we're going to number 15. And again, really determined. Incredible. It goes out on Sankirtan whenever the chance is there. Sickness hit him for some time. Busy administration work, kitchen activities, different things cropping up here and there. Kept him busy with all kinds of administration. But in 15th place, and very determined when going out on Sankirtan, Janananda Prabhu! They speak a different language over here. What to do? And then in 14th place, working but going out whenever possible on our work, going to work, coming back from work, sometimes coming out on Harinam. In 14th place with 514. Who's this for? Pardon?
Next to the other one.
What happened to Rasikananda? He didn't get his birthday.
You can take it.
How can you? We have to have a birthday for Rasikananda. He'll cry. For Rasikananda Prabhu! Birthday! Where is he?
He's here.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. In 14th place, we mentioned all of us mentioned from Yoga Lyric, Yadurani Devi! Where is he? You can't throw that far. Well, mind your head. You hit that Jyoti on the head. That's the top 4. Now the top 13. In 13th place. 12th place. With 12th place with 5. I'm embarrassed. I don't even want to read it. It's so disgusting. With 579 book points and 180 Bhagavad Gitas and loads of other books. Priyarani Devi Dasi! There she is. Wow. That's the best throw of the month. Two good ones. Yeah. Well, most of those books were done sitting down chanting Hare Krishna, except for the Bhagavatams and the CC sets. They were, almost all the others were just sitting there chanting Hare Krishna. Almost, not all. Do I get a packet of birthday or not? I do. I've got more than that. And then we have this. This is one of the miracles of the marathon. I think it was on the last day, on the 31st, we were up, I was probably up to midnight or more, I can't remember, toting up all the scores with Achyuta Kurvara for a while. And then trying to pick up all the scores from outstation that had come in. And although Janananda had not yet put them together, because time is different where he is. So we were putting them together there, without the official chart. So. And we found ourselves that we'd reached our quota as far as Gita's concerned. And our quota was for the Live to Give campaign, which is a little longer than the marathon. But the Live to Give campaign of 10,001 Bhagavad Gita, we already exceeded that. And we'd exceeded the 151, but we had not exceeded last year's total score for the marathon. We were still about, I think, 300 or 400 points behind. We wonder where it's going to come from. So I think the next morning, wasn't it, Rohi, I gave you a call?
Yes.
Because there were still 2 or 3 around the country who may or may not have distributed books. So one of them, was I was actually on the phone to you, wasn't it?
And that's the moment
At that moment, I was talking to Rohi, could he contact these various devotees around the country and see if they distributed any books? At that moment, this score came.
Yes.
At that very moment. And this devotee is not known to many of us here today. Yeah, and he lives there alone basically. He runs a business. Can you have a little silence around the court there, please? You can be noisy on the street, but don't be noisy here, okay? You're a good boy.
We just became a little bit distant, and we wanted to announce that without will happen in France. The marathon will not happen in France. So at the 13th place,
Srila Prabhupada is in first place. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Janananda Maharaja. Hey. Number 11.
on second place for the magazine, John.
I was not. I was trying my best to win the magazine category. I failed to win any category of magazines. I was thrashed by somebody in 9th place. I couldn't believe it. In fact, the reason being is I didn't distribute any magazines in the last week, actually. Otherwise, I'd have easily have won the magazine category. But I did win the Chaitanya Charitamrita category. I did win the reading a book category also. I got 2 gold medals there. Pretty good. I think I was 3rd in the big category also. Look at that. Whoa. 101 Bhagavad Gitas. 58 magazines. Oh, I can't believe how I did that. 11 Arabic books. Whoa. Okay, up to reality. Number 11. And as I say, that's all I get for doing everything. Then I did everything. Poor Burpee, I told Yeah, now we got to do it. Now you won't be able to say no now. Come on, cough up, cough up. You can't say no to Sangita. Come on, fill the bucket, put something in it. You must have something in your pocket. Oh, they're misers, aren't they, Sangita? Oh, well, there's only one way around this. There's only one way around this. Come here.
Maharaj,
Huh?
this is from all the devotees. Some congratulation words for organizing this beautiful marathon of Srila Prabhupada.
What did I do? I think Achyuta Kavera deserves all the medals. Thank you so much. What can I say? It's only because of you we're here. We wouldn't be here, there'd be nothing. I might be sitting on the street chanting to myself. For all the wonderful devotees who did all the services here in New York or in Paris and elsewhere, distribute books or helped to distribute books or did whatever they did. It's a wonderful thing which is inspiring all the devotees around the world. At least a little bit, nothing compared to the quantity which was done before, but at least something is going out. We're just small timers. Thank you all very much, all of you, whoever you are. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Hari Bol. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. We haven't quite finished yet. We have a few more to go. Where did we get to? We were on Madhavacharana Vinda, then we were, oh yeah, I was just about to solve the problem. Hey, who hasn't got any money? You don't have any money? Come here, Sangita. Come here. Here. Woo. Ty, put this in the box. Come on. Put it in Mother Cow. Put it in Mother Cow. Come on. Thanks, Ambit. Regati, put it in Mother Cow. Come on. You know I'm doing all the money on the marathon now. Siddhikesha is very obedient. Who else is a Sankirtan? Here, Himanshu, put it in Mother Cow. Come on, go for it. Join up, put it in Mother Cow. Put a big one in there. Come on, don't be shy. Arini, come here. PJ, you're a rich man. I don't know what you're doing. PJ, come on. Who else is there? Kubera. It all came from him in the first place. No, it didn't come from him, by the way. There we go. You're doing really well today. Thank you. Oh, Priyarani, come here, Priyarani. Priyarani. There you go. Not bad, huh? Anyone else who wants to, you can ask me afterwards. Keep going. You haven't finished yet. Here, Garangi will put something. Good old Garangi. We read your name out earlier, Garangi. I don't know if you... And then we're in the top 10 now. Madhavacharya Vinda, by the way, he's very quiet disciple of Pataka Maharaj, loves book distribution. Yes, he goes to Guadeloupe quite often. I would imagine most of these books are in Guadeloupe. I'd imagine. It was last year, I don't know about this year. And he bought 27 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Only when they're discovered do they get cancer, so that's why there's 6 there. We love history and Prabhupada Bhagavatam. So we're in the top 10 now, and I think there's quite a rise on last year, with 754 book points, 321 Bhagavad Gitas. She was really going for the Gitas. Inspiring other ladies on Sankirtan, I think several of the, Kasturi Manjari and Anna and others were inspired going, she would take them out, they were going to La Défense most of the time, is that right? La Défense? Yeah, mostly La Défense. In the metro there, distributing books. In 10th place, Chandramukhi Devi! What do we have for number 10? Burfi! Burfi. Janananda will give you something else later probably, but here's a bag of burfi. Thank you so much. I wish we had more to give. Hare Krishna, well done. Thank you so much. Hare. She also living at home with her husband. Your husband's not here, is he?
No,
And comes out from her home every, most of the days, not every day, she was away for a while, but most of the days from out coming in. Going on Sankirtan, just being fun. And then in number 9, now this is one of the total dark horses, unknown, backed her before the marathon, practically speaking, wanted to take part, took 2 weeks off of his work, which is, from a billionaire, that's quite a lot of time. And took 2 weeks off of his busy schedule to come out on the marathon with us, and did incredibly well, absolutely phenomenal. And only been, how long have you been chanting Hare Krishna regularly? Just over a year? Just over a year. French, lives in France, speaks French, born in France, although of Indian descent, showing that if anyone can distribute books, it's just a matter of prayer, endeavor, prayer, sincerity, whatever else is required, empowerment. With 231 Bhagavad Gitas, many other books, including Arabic books, 780 book points in the 9th place. Back to Vijay! More perfect. Hare Krishna Vijay. We want to give you something a little later on. Thank you. So that's the top. Now we're going to the top 8. Whoops. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Top 8. Oh, there's a lot to say about these. Oh, phenomenal. In 8th place, determined as always, against all odds sometimes. But I think the odds have become even now. With an incredible contribution to this year's marathon in more ways than one. With the help of the Manjari, who wrote her up, and determinedly finding somewhere to stay for the 3 or 4 weeks there next door to the temple. Under difficult, listen to this, when they first moved into their apartment next door to the temple, there was no hot water and no heating. Every day carrying Bhagavad Gita in the streets of Paris and a few other places, which you'll see later. In 8th place, and I would say, what they say, army marches on its stomach.
Yes.
The first week of the marathon, almost everyone was complaining, almost. I wasn't complaining, quite right. Cooked, no vegetables at all in it, just rice and dal, all kinds of things, right? Was it? That's what I heard. I don't know. And then suddenly, determined like anything, arrives Ramalila and Manga Manjari. And you can bet what happened after that. What happened after that? Pardon? And he became the leader of the rappers. Took to the kitchen, Mother Ramalila immediately hit the kitchen every morning after Mangalarti, and before you know it, you have incredible wraps and sandwiches and cinnamon rolls and cakes and all sorts of things. You don't know what you were missing.
Chai.
Hot chai. Beautiful. Everyone praised the chai to the sky. It was never enough chai. You became immediately high after the chai. You began to cry and feel like you could fly in the sky with chai. And you'd never die with chai. Where is she? Where is she? Hey, Mo! Top in the marathon with 5 Bhagavatam sets and 917 book points, 250 Bhagavad Gitas. Ramlila Devi! Oh, you've got a cup of chai in here. Chai and a wrap. Ah, there you go. Get your... It looks like a wrap. It looks like a wrap. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hari Bol. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Wonderful to see Srila Prabhupada's disciple. This is his 3rd Srila Prabhupada disciple. I may be wrong. 4th, I think, Krishna Kirtan. And Maharishi, myself, Leela. Is that anyone else up to now? 5. Gopas, please excuse me, Gopas. 5 Prabhupada disciples so far. Mandakini makes 6. Any others besides the ones we haven't read yet? 6, at least 6 so far. That's amazing. That's amazing. Huh? I mentioned Maharishi. He was one of the 6. So then another one in number 7. Every year, without fail, the last 5 or 6 years, somehow or another, mostly he goes alone, shop to shop, streets, in the south of France mainly, although he joined us for a few days in Paris this year. Unfortunately, he fell sick when he was in Paris. But he was already sick at the beginning of the marathon and never really was in good health. But nonetheless, was determinedly going out every day for 2 or 3 weeks, at least, in the south, on his own, and distributing Bhagavad Gitas predominantly, and a few other books. A very wonderful example of a devotee who from the 70s was also distributing books like many of you. In 7th place with 1,322 book points, 633 Bhagavad Gitas, Aristanasana Prabhu! Pardon? We don't have a separate bag at the moment. We don't have a separate bag. What do we have? Nothing else in the bag. It should be increasing. Something will come later. Something will come later. Well, you've got that. We were all the Srila Prabhupada disciples. Thank you so much. Thank you. All the Srila Prabhupada disciples all over the world are being gifted a beautiful 6-Shastra Prabhu. You have it with you? No. Can you bring it here for a second? Well, someone can bring it. You don't bring it. Someone bring this quickly here. One of the agile young men. Pass it forward to agile. Achyuta Kavera. Come here quickly. If I keep calling you that name, eventually everyone will call you that name. I better stop doing that. But every Srila Prabhupada disciple in the world that's still alive receives one of these as soon as possible that we can find. This is a little gift pack. And it says on it, this one is the 6-Shastakam Proof. The 6-Shastakam Das, with gratitude for your service to Srila Prabhupada. So Ramlila's already got hers rather. Mandakini's got hers. Maharishi's got his. And who else was there? Krishna Kirtan will get hers. And whoever else we mentioned who hasn't got one will also get one. And everyone else here in France who's a Prabhupada disciple will get one. We've got a I've got about 54 upstairs to distribute. So this is a beautiful little deity of Srila Prabhupada. Made of coins collected on the marathon. Last year's marathon from all over the world, including, well, maybe not from the marathon, all of them, but many of them. From France, I don't think it was from the marathon, they got them later from France. Many of them. And, well, I don't want to pass it around because it's such a personal deity. But you can see him if you want, and some of you have seen mine. I've got one for 3 years now. But they're available for all the disciples of Prabhupada, and they will be available to everyone else, Krishna willing, in due course of time. They're free for the Prabhupada disciples, but everyone else will have to give, obviously they've got to be paid for, they cost, each one of these costs us about $60 to $70 each to produce. They're specially made. They don't make them, in 1,000 at a time, they make them small batches, pass it back to 6 us. Here.
Right hand.
Yeah. Right hand. You're a Brahmin now, don't forget. It's died hard. And what we see now are some pictures down below. There's a picture of Vishnasana Prabhu on the top right, just doing a Bhagavad Gita. Some gentleman, was that on the south coast?
Yeah, that was near Marseille.
Near Marseille. And many others. Of course, there was no one taking pictures in general, so it's the only one that was produced. Below that is a rather unusual picture of Ram Leela. It's hard to make out exactly what she's doing here, but I'll tell you later, because there's another picture which is much clearer. So don't break the ice right now. It's funny. And of course, that's none other than Tower of everyone else. It's Ekanath. And you can probably guess where he is. That's the way down. And there he is down lower. Presumably just in the book to a lady down there. She's doing down on the floor. Something going on down there. And the picture above, another picture of Ekanath. That lady in the middle, he stopped her, sold her some books, brought her over to me and myself. And I think it was the only day of the marathon I happened to have a Turkish book with me. And she's from Turkey. So when she saw the Turkish book, she became really ecstatic. And she was stunned. She had a Turkish book, so I gave her the Turkish coming back. And that's just her. She took quite a lot of books and gave a good donation. Hare Krishna. So there's another picture of Ekanath, we didn't put that one in, where he's holding the donation. Looking like he's in ecstasy with the donation. It's a little too obvious what was going on. Anyway, there he is. So in 6th place with 1,414 book points. That's your top marathon score, actually. 1,414 book points, 513 Gitas. He had a bit of a run on the Arabic books towards the end there. And in 6th place, none other than our dear Ekanath Prabhu! You get a paper bag. One paper bag for you. Recycled paper bag.
There is Bhagavad Gita inside?
I'm not sure what's inside. Bhagavad Gita. So top 5, here we go. 5th place. It's not much excitement, you can always see it. But lots of nice pictures are there of this wonderful devotee, a Sankirtan leader in many ways, you can say, here in France. Top distributor for the world, by the way, for the world, for the year. Top distributor for the year in France. That's the top distributor for the year. Well, France is the world, that's right. The rest of the world is insignificant. France is all that matters, really. They're all the islands and states of the and things like that. So in 5th place with 1,639 book points, 621 Bhagavad Gita, exceeding all these devotees have exceeded their quotas by the way, all of them, Chandramukhi and Visvanasana Prabhu and Ekanath Prabhu and Thai Prabhu, with 621 Bhagavad Gitas and many other books. Our dear Janananda Prabhu! Every day of the marathon track, he was out there, come what may. I don't know if you missed a single day. A couple of programs you did in Yoga Lyric, those 2 days. But other than that, I think you were out every day.
There is a picture of the program actually.
Yeah, there's a picture, second from the bottom, on the left, on the bottom, second from left. This in your book in Yoga Lyric.
His name is Nabil and he came to temple after.
Yeah, I can remember that. Young boy was very So Hare Krishna, thank you guys, Hare Prabhu. You can wear a gumshoe to the bathroom. Don't blame me for the gift. And in fourth place with a phenomenal one, just appeared out of nowhere, not exactly nowhere, but Vrindavan Dham came just at the right moment. We lost our top book distiller just before the marathon. Janananda Sankirtan Prabhu, who was the top distiller by far and away last year, and he disappeared just before the marathon. His guru went with his Guru Maharaj to Spain. He had to go, it was necessary. And we lost him. We were hoping he'd stay for the marathon, but it wasn't possible. And he went back to Spain and did the marathon in Spain, but of course the Spanish temple. So Rasananda Sankirtan Prabhu was not with us this year, but compensating in so many ways. Wonderful association, inspiration association, Krishna consciousness, and enthusiastic kirtans. In fourth place, also going out every day of the marathon. I have a question. Did your mother get the Bhagavatam set?
Not yet.
No. Well, you sent it to her to Paris because all the Lakshmi went to Paris. So I gave this one.
Yeah, I'm going to bring her tomorrow.
No, you take one from there. All the Lakshmi's gone.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
We'll let you off. So with 822 Gitas and 212 Arabic books and a bunch of other books, with 2,470 book points, his biggest marathon score by far and away. In fourth place, Janananda Where's your gumshoe? Here. How is it number 5 gets a gumshoe? Haribol! Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai! He probably bought back from India anyway. He arrived just at the beginning of the marathon. No envy, please. Don't get envy. Wonderful. I'll show you the story. Then in third place. Actually expected to be first place, but came third. But first with Bhagavad Gita. She was the top Bhagavad Gita lister. Okay. With 1,190 Bhagavad Gitas and a bunch of other books. 3,106 book points. Harini Devi! And don't forget, on Gita Jayanti, she did 138 Bhagavad Gitas. Wow. I think 2 or 3 devotees did 100 plus on Gita Jayanti. Amazing day. I'll just tell a quick story of the Gita Jayanti. Forget it. Line on. And we've got 2008 Bhagavad Gita's on Gita Jayanti. rather more than we've ever done before, but far and away. But we, a lot of teachers on that day around France, mostly in Paris. But we hit the road early in the morning. I mean, early means for us 9:30 we left the temple. Some of us, some a bit later. And onto the trains, early morning train to the city. Irene was already just doing books. She did 7 books between Sarsao and Gare du Nord on the train, and then the rest mostly at the university. And we were at university too, and other devotees were in Château, others were in La Défense, and others were here and there. And amazingly enough, the scores were coming in, and we came back in the evening. We got back about 8 in the evening, and scores were coming in, and we reached, I think it was 10:30 at night when the final score came in, and the score was, what was it? 1,007. Boy, mystic. And I was walking up the stairs from the cave, and was even behind the shoot, what's his name? Walking up the stairs, maybe 11 o'clock actually. And walking down the stairs was one of the pujaris, and his name is Goranga Pran. I'd asked him in the morning if he could just do one book, but he didn't report any. So I said, did you actually do a book today? He said, oh yes, I did one Bhagavad Gita. Right. 1,008. It was amazing. We were aiming at 54 devotees, and there was 54 devotees who actually distributed Gitas that day. And we were hoping that the sponsorship would cover not just the cost of the books, but the cost we normally sell the books for. And it came within €8 of the cost. We collected €8 more than the selling price of all the books. Amazing how so many coincidences all at once. Later on, of course, many other scores came. At that moment, that was it. Next day, a few more scores came in, and we went fantastic. But amazing coincidences which took place. So there's some pictures of these devotees and various situations of distributing Prabhupada's books. And now we come to the top, to the second place, the chief sergeant of the police station in the second top book distributor. He distributed all of our books. He didn't confiscate them. They sometimes do that, confiscate them. But he didn't. Rather, as you see in the bottom left-hand corner, what is he doing there? Who's that person standing in front of the police car? What's he doing? Giving him a fine or what? He's giving the policeman a fine? What's he doing?
Yes, fine. €5 each.
You were distributing books to the police?
They stopped me, and then I said, okay, I have to do something.
And what did you do?
Whatever they asked, they say, what is this? I said, this is a book if you want. Okay, can we take it? Yes, you can take it. We have to pay for it? No, not at all. But if you want, it's for donation base. But my legs were shaking. I should not say. And then he said, we don't have money with us. I said, it's okay. I only have a card. And then I hesitated. What should I do? And then I took my machine. My hand was shaking. Shall I show? If you want, I have a little machine. And they just burst into laugh, and they were like, he's tricking the police now. One of the guy in the back, he says, tricking the police now. I said, no, I'm not tricking anyone. It's just a donation. And I think the guy was on the front seat was like the chef, the leader, I think. So when he paid it, others, they followed. They paid it also.
They all gave donations.
Yeah.
They all paid by card. How many of them?
There were 3 in the van.
3 policemen. They all paid for their Bhagavad Gita. bottom right?
Little machine.
That looks like a good team there.
Ekanath will tell you.
Ekanath or you? One of
Actually, it
them.
happened together with Ekanath.
They're students or what?
Yeah, they are students.
They all took a Gita.
They are from like 3 different countries, Germany, Italy, and also from
They all look
France.
like Indian descent. Almost, maybe one.
And they were having vacation together, and the guy, Ekanath, he stopped the guy for the Bhagavad Gita, and the girls were just laughing aside, and I didn't saw that they were all together, so I approached the girls, and without speaking, I give them each Bhagavad Gita first of all in their hands. It's for you, all of you. Today is a big festival, and when the guy paid it, I think they asked, okay, we want it, it's very amazing, and it's a Paris gift, and so they like it. And I think they just ask, okay, how much I have to give? And I just calculated there are 5 people, 50 is okay for everyone. So they just give the 50, and it just happened.
Hare Krishna, Krishna arranges everything.
I have no idea how it happened, but it just happened.
Chaturleya. Miracles happen in Chaturleya. All kinds of things happen down there. Including Rath Yatra. Special place, big Rath Yatra ends up there quite frequently. But top, number 1 spot. Just gave you a clue. Oh, right. You get more than just a paper bag, I'm afraid. You get, what is this, Bhagavad Gita? Oh no, something very special. Hare Krishna, Himanshu Prabhu, to yourself. Give a donation if you want, but we don't have.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Now you're Sankirtan. Rocket if you read this beautiful book, Our Family Business by Vaishesha. Wonderful book. Wonderful devotees. So, the marathon, again, Himanshu more than double his quota. But the devotee who didn't even have a quota practically, because I wasn't really sure, I didn't even know she was going to be out on Sankirtan regularly. Never really did full-time book distribution before. Last year, came out a couple of times a little bit. We had no idea this was going to happen. And although Janananda wasn't with us, Krishna sent others along. So this was definitely the main, we could say, I'd say surprise maybe at the marathon, but certainly a boost for the marathon, that's for sure. Staying most of the time in the temple during the month of December, although working every day, pretty much 6 days a week, isn't it? 5, 6 days a week? 5? 5 days a week working. 5 hours, 6 hours a day? 6 hours work a day for 5 days, yet still going out every single day of the marathon. Book distribution after work, finishing work about 5:30 and going out for 3 hours on book distribution, and some on the way to work, and incredible number of books distributed. And collection was as much as it was expected to be for the books. In first place, Bhakti Doina! 459 small Arabic books. She was really. The last day she was only doing Gitas. She did 100, I think, on 2 occasions in a day. That was not even. She wasn't hardly getting 1 full day a week, maybe one full day a week. The total of 3,785 books. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai! Here we go. I don't know what it is. There's something in there. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. What an example. Working 6 hours a day for 5 days a week and going out more or less alone. She would be down in a shopping mall, in the metro, like some of the other devotees too, pretty much all the time distributing books on our own under the underground. And it's not so easy going down there all day, well not all day, but for hours and hours on end distributing books. Pretty tambourine, to say the least. Right in town, to say the least. What's that? So that's the individual scores. We'll just quickly run through a few. There's some more pictures of Dinah in action, distributing books on the metro, in the station, in different places. The different individuals fortunately receiving the book. It's nice to know that the souls in Paris in black bodies are often the softest hearted people.
Yeah.
Yes. Easier.
That's true.
They're really soft-hearted, mostly. So here's the total for the marathon.
Wow.
158 devotees took part. 14,840 books were distributed at various times, and 28,008 books. That's about 600, 700 more than last year. You brought back keys. And then, doing the marathon. That's the breakdown. You can read it yourself. You can read it all. You can see it yourself. So over 9,000 Gitas were distributed in December. So if you add the Arabic Gitas on it, that's 9,078 Gitas. And plus 1,000 something which we did just before the marathon. So that exceeded our quota for the Live to Give worldwide Live to Give campaign. I don't have the figure here, it's on my computer, which I don't have here. We distributed about 10,000, I don't know, 500 or something altogether during the campaign. The books distributed during the marathon is just another way of looking at it, is in kind of piles. Monthly scores for the month of 2024. Every month, how many book points? It's not so much books distributed, just book points. It just gives a kind of an overall picture of the book distribution. It doesn't tell you how many books, but the overall amount, more or less, linked with that. So you can see, generally speaking, July, August, September are traditionally big months for book distribution. Summertime and then December marathon. And then October, November are usually quite small, as are January, February, March. December marathon this year compared to last year, we were way up on the Bhagavad Gita, over 2,000 more Gitas this year than last year. Pretty far. Other books, most of them are a little bit down, mostly, not much, but a little bit down on most of the other books. Especially the magazines were way down. And Arabic books were down, and Srimad Bhagavatam Sanskrit, one of the main differences. Still, we were up on our scale. And December marathon scores, for the beginning of when we started in 2016, we had our first little marathon in Derry, year before a tiny one. But we rose to a peak in 2022, and now we've kind of gone down a bit, but let's see. We're not worried. We just try our best, that's all. It's just a privilege to go out on the streets or wherever we go and try to distribute problems. It's just a good fortune. School is secondary. Overall review. Kind of saw that already. I think 61,000 book points for the year. 40,000 historical books. And numbers, that's the numbers of books distributed in the various categories for the year. Where it says BTG, that means BTG subscription. Yearly scores, we've been, unfortunately been going down a little bit. There are very good reasons for that. One of the main reasons we did so big in 2022 is that we just received the Bhagavatam sets. And we just did 250 of them, 2.5 months. So that, and plus the Arabic books. Huge distribution in 22. Other than that, our scores this year are higher higher than the previous two actually. So it's not really going down in that sense. And let's just have a look at a few little pictures. Picture speaks for itself. Here we go. Jai, Jai Jai Prabhu Ki Jai. That's yesterday, Matthew also did. Different places. On the train, I think we're in distribution. Looks like we've all had a few of Van Leela's rats. A few too many, but it looks like. I hope it's on the way back from Sankirtan and not the way out.
We had many layers.
Huh?
We had many layers.
Many layers, yeah, it was freezing cold. Many days it was below freezing on the street. Janananda, where's that picture? That's outside the temple, just unloading the van or something like that. Yeah, the Bhagavad Gita's were coming in. Yeah. Huh? Oh, well, we'll try to make time, yes. We want to hear from Krishna Brahman also. We can go overboard a little bit. This is too good to miss.
Yes.
And there they are, that's Priya Rani in the middle of the fire of book distribution. And there we are, that's not exactly book distribution itself, we're getting sponsorships there, and these books will be distributed to others. Very vastly sponsoring books. And we distribute donation. What's that? What's that?
Driving to Châtelet, maybe.
That's me driving, is it? Yes. I'm at the wheel. I'm driving. Sometimes we drive to the station in Sarsal to drop off the books and the roadies. And there in the train. That looks like Jiva Prime, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It's Jiva Prime in action.
She was an homeless actually.
She was homeless.
And she was almost crying that to not take the book, but he insisted and she finally took it.
Yeah, she was very proud.
She was happy finally.
And it's down at Riders, also in the metro.
Yeah.
And in the metro also, who's that? Is that the devotee speak? Oh no, it's Priya Rani. Priya Rani distributes books in the metro. Radharani distributes books in the metro. Way. And then there is Alan. It was irresistible. Ooh, powerful. Somebody is distributing a book to a Chinese young man. Who distributed that book to that Chinese book?
Yadurani. Yadurani.
It looks like a Chinese word.
Yadurani distributed.
Yadurani, Hari Bol. And someone's distributed English teachers to that young lady on the right there. That's English. And that we've already seen, that's in your lyric. And that we already saw, that's a full picture, that's a full picture. It's very sharp, this Himanshu. You see someone distributing someone to someone, and he comes around the back. All the others around who are interested.
I stopped the guy
very sharp.
and he jumped.
He actually came past me about 5 minutes before that. I was chanting, they said they'd come back later. I took them a book. They said they'd come back later, but then they got caught by these two. There he is. Who's the merciful soul? Let's see it's the one on the left.
This is Joy.
Who distributed it to him? You did. Yeah, Dina Nandi really did it for the soul. Tita Pala is the most merciful. He distributes books, and they all give a little donation.
Yeah.
Whatever they pay for it. And then on the right, who I mean, that? Who was that on the right? I recognize him.
It's Vijay who distributed him.
I thought he was dancing with us.
Yes.
Yes, today there's one young man here who joined us on the high now. Where is he here today?
Maxence.
He's here as a volunteer.
Yeah.
Really? Where is he? A volunteer who joined us on high now. He's here now. Is he here still? He's here. Priya Rani preached this young man who was almost homeless also. He was very spiritual, now he's here as a volunteer. Oh. Gave him some books. And here we are, this is on Gita Jayanti Day after we left the university, we went to Châtelet Léal. And nothing much happened there. Mostly it was at the university. We are just doing English CC set. I don't know who that is on the right. One of my many tricks and cheats. Horn cheat. But I remember that horn cheat is a horn in Krishna. Cheater, gabblers. Here's Rasikananda in action. And there we have these are on the post. They're the postman. Now they would go downtown many days to these beautiful trail trolleys. They're not ordinary trolleys. Each of those trolleys has 100 Bhagavad Gita in it. 100 in each. And they're just about to board the bus to go to South Brits, to take them on the metro, to drive them north, to change over to the RER, to go up the escalators and get the books to Châtelet.
So heavy.
Each bag weighs about 50 kilos. Quite something, huh? So these were, we had other runners too, but these are the two main runners. So he wasn't just the treasurer, but he was also running books daily, or as much as was required into the city. And Shantapma was the best of the runners.
Yeah.
He deserves a prize for being the best of the runners. The best of the treasurer. Well done. Ramlila got something, didn't she? So, I mean, really, without their service, it was very, very difficult. Every day almost running out of books, right? Almost every day. Hare Krishna. Then we've got, so thank them, everyone very much. Here we are, you saw that one on the left a little bit before. And, taking over both of the escalators almost. Coming down the escalator. Did you take that last evening? I think it's very good at those type of pictures. Priya Rani is covered by Janananda's beat.
There is Vijay as well on the other
Yeah, it's on the other side, both escalators. And there we are, that same picture on our way to Sankirtan. I don't know if that was Gita yet, it was another day we were out early. And there's a Manshu in action.
It's a railway station, Gare du Nord.
I don't know, they got the Union Jack. What's the Union Jack doing there? British flag. The flag's in there, that's that.
This is Eurostar.
And there's Eric, he's the one who took all the books. I don't know who he is, if any of you know him or not, I don't know. He lives in Brittany. And a really nice man. I didn't meet him when we were out on Sankirtan, but he came the other day. That's the one Is that Mohammed?
Yeah.
There he is. Which one's Mohammed? The one on the right or the left? Huh?
Yeah.
Their girlfriends. That's their girlfriends. Whoa, wow, wow, woohoo! What do you want me to do? This is for me? Ooh, thank you. Just what I've been waiting for. Fantastic. Very bold. Thank you, Sankirtan. I've got something to do later on now. Keep me busy. Hare Krishna. That's at, I can never pronounce it. Bilitanu. Bilitanu. University of Bilitanu. Bilitanu. Nee, Bilitanu. Bilitanu. They say, nee, Bilitanu. That's what they say on the metro. But that's the university. It's an extension of Sorbonne. University, North Sorbonne. And there's a big university campus there. I went there 4 years ago on a marathon and did one magazine. I really didn't God knows what she did, 70 something Bhagavad Gita's there that day. And there's really, a few minutes later the police came and
Yes.
and there, look, there he is, imitating me. Trying to get his name up in lights. We're all trying to get the glory out and see that. And what is this? This is our young Arjuna. Young Arjuna is doing books to his friends. He seems to have a lot of lady friends.
Future brahmachari.
He's not a brahmachari yet. I'm not sure if he will be. He's very enthusiastic to this through books. Family members. And there's Chandramukhi in action at petrol station. I haven't got too many pictures that are in action. These are pictures of teaching, standing. And there's Janananda, we see already. I don't know if you saw already, but there he is, just doing Bhagavad Gita. And there is the Janananda Prabhu. Huh? And there we are, and I don't know. So, this is you just doing that Tamil Bhagavatam stuff, isn't it? Maybe back in Sankirtan Prabhu sold one Bhagavatam set to this Tamil couple. Yeah. Hey, oh. That's in their house, isn't it? And there he is again. Bhagavad Gita is back to front. I guess when you put it out like this, it does that. Oh, that's an interesting one. That looks like an interview.
Yeah.
That's a crime, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, is he singing or they?
No, it's a TikTok.
TikTok interview. I don't know.
They ask you questions.
Yeah, I never saw it. Okay, my way behind. Here they are. That doesn't look like a very big rat. What is it you're diving into there? Lunch, something for lunch. That's also, who is that? Is that near Tiki? We keep all our books next to Tiki Rose.
The famous lampadaire.
Yeah, there they are.
Wow!
Take a look. Here he is. Yellow jacket man. And there's another family that took a Bhagavatam set. I don't know the history of that. Huh?
They sponsored a box.
Oh, they sponsored the box. They got distributed?
Yeah, I guess so.
As Gitas or Bhagavatam? Oh, they went out. They were distributed. They sponsored the box. That miracle coat which I was wearing kept me cold and kept me warm out in air conditions. People. And there she is. Under the garden, doing books. And that's one of the amazing books for the marathon. Dwayne sold the book to the bus conductor. The bus driver. South San Brits, you can see the station in the background. She sold the book to the bus driver. He gave a donation.
Yes.
She gave a donation.
Oh. Tell the story.
King of Dubai. He was a Muslim priest.
Here we are in the planning room. Anyway, I don't know what we were planning that day. We were planning something in Paris. And there's the lady getting action, more action. And there's Anna. Anna in action. Anna in action. Anna in action. Action in action. Krishna says that action in action. There's Anna in action. He really inspired. Really did my amazing distribution. More, you've seen these a little bit before. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Some of the team, Tiki Rose.
Lunch party.
It was on Gita Jayanti.
Was the lunch party, Maharaj?
Lunch party was the big lunch there. Nourishing their lunch. And this is from Grenoble. You can tell by the mountains in the background. There's Sabine distributing a Bhagavad Gita to lucky lady from Grenoble.
She's Adi Gopi actually.
Is that Adi Gopi?
It's Adi Gopi, yes.
Which one's Adi Gopi?
On the right.
On the right.
Oh, she's giving a book to Adi Gopi.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can see she's chanting on the counter.
Oh, yeah.
She's devotee.
And maybe she did to someone else. That's the picture. And there they are. That's in City University?
Yes.
City University, outside of the gate there probably. Just doing Harinam, just doing books. You doing Harinam or just books?
No, just distribution.
Just doing books. Yes, Janananda, Nanda.
And Harini was there also.
Harini was also there somewhere. Very nice shopping. PJ, chocolate. Table. Another Bhagavatam set's going out there with the Rani having a set in the cave. I don't look very well that day. Something went wrong. Maybe I was Chitu Kubera was not the There they are, on the road. That day Chris was the deliverer of the books.
Yeah.
Train. Emblem of humility. At the Eiffel Tower, Harini in action. Pardon? Mohini is there too, yeah? Mohini, okay. She was going for a few days, but and here we are. It's not bright enough, but I think you can all see who that is there. Holding Prabhupada's books. And what can you see in the background?
Bollywood.
Bollywood! Bollywood! What is this? Now we know what was going on during the marathon. What were you doing there? Is she not here anymore?
Back in the cave.
What are you doing there? What are you doing there?
Well, I tried the old tricks of 30 years ago, going to the theater with Janananda, and there was this Bollywood thing in the Palais of Congress.
Where?
Palais des Congrès.
Palais des Congrès.
So we went in.
What medal?
Porte Maillot.
Medal. And so she just went in to the Nanga Manjari. And they distributed books right there to the people at the Bollywood show. A few times she went there. It's nice and warm there. And they did pretty good. They did pretty good in there. Just in the previous picture, they said it's hard to see what's going on. She was actually bending over, selling a book to a lady sitting in the chair there, in the bench. Bollywood, purifying Bollywood. What's he got in his hand? Sword.
It's a weapon.
Sword, the sword of knowledge.
It's a Maha magazine.
Yasamati, was it?
Yes.
Yasamati.
Non, c'est Yashamati.
A magazine.
Is it? Oh, it's a magazine.
Oh, it's a Mahamantra card.
It's a magazine. Well, no, it's one of those Mahamantra cards, the yellow ones. Here we are, the station. Jai, action, Haribo. Here I am, sitting there for hours and hours on end. Man looks like he's going to walk straight over me. Vijay and Rasaprana and Jerry and Devapran and the runners. Action stations. Really distributing, trying to distribute a magazine. Did you distribute the magazine? He didn't take the mag. She didn't take the magazine. She wouldn't even take the magazine.
This lady actually, she was taking a Arabic book, but I don't know, I don't remember how. She didn't take that.
There we are, the blissful start to the marathon in the cave. Everyone's looking excited. It is exciting as we're about to begin.
That was the first day we looked bright. But
I think you're pretty bright at the end as well. Here he is.
that was a
Kim Kubera. His crown on. Wearing his crown. In the cave.
the donation
Crown.
box.
Yeah. How do you go crowns? There he is with boxes. 5 boxes on that. Shuttering off to Tiki Rose. He's a lawyer, by the way, if you have any problems with him. He's a lawyer. He works with ISKCON law. He's one of Janananda Prabhu's right-hand man. Future lawyer for ISKCON. I don't know who they are. Rasparan and who's the other one?
Maharaja, there was one story with me, with this lady. The one man, Frenchman, he was not in a very good mood, so he was really shouting at me. Like shouting, you know, angrily shouting, and I just told him, sorry, I don't speak French, you know. And he got very angry, so he took the money from his pocket and he gave me, you know, whatever was there, like €2. And I said, okay, so can you please take the book, you know? And he's like, no, I don't want a book, I don't want. He said, give to somebody else. Then he took the book from me and he turned around to someone. He said, take the book. And this person just looked like this. He didn't take. And then he gave to these girls, and these girls say, oh, okay, thank you. And they were very happy.
Wow.
But they didn't want to make pictures, so just like this, I make pictures. My angry man.
Nice one.
There we are. The run, I don't know when that was. We don't look too bad in that picture.
That's Gare du Nord.
Don't know what that is. Looks like a car park to me.
Oh, it's actually Auchan.
Auchan. Oh yeah, the boys were going to Auchan. Very good at Auchan. I didn't know. And there we are near Tiki Rose. Tiki Rose. Tiki Rose River. Wow. Janananda with us for a few days. It's interesting, Gavin.
Yeah.
Here we are, we're obviously on our way to the station now, or just going into the station.
They were not ready.
Looks a bit dodgy to me.
This is on the way home.
This is Sarcelles bus.
Look, there it is. There it is. Home with the loot. Blissful interaction.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is a regular affair. I'm receiving. These gentlemen are all Muslim people. They're all giving me gifts. Different bags of donuts and burgers. But I didn't want to say no. They were so kind. This hot chocolate we got them. I didn't want to say no because they were so sweet. They were so kind. So Some of it was edible, some of it was there was a bottle of water and an orange. Vaguely I was getting this. I think they thought I was a homeless person. In one sense we are homeless. Supposed to, and that's what it's supposed to be homeless. That's why they're entitled to bed, because they're homeless. I actually distributed, I actually gave him another bag of some of the things that came in. There's one on the other side of the corner. We actually used to go to Moisy Le Grand.
Janananda.
Mahananda, yeah. Mahananda. It's amazing, he's quite often seen just doing books to the air.
Now we know how you got your score.
Yeah, I know they're heavy, those books, sometimes they fall out of my hand.
Like last year, Maharaja, the pigeon. You remember last year?
Yeah.
There was a picture with the pigeon.
Yeah, that pigeon that came to the books.
There's a very short.
German pigeon. Just doing some books there for Here he is in action again, with some of his group friends. He's amazing, he's very charismatic young devotee. Here they are. Three musketeers. Srila Prabhupada ki jai! Janananda book distribution ki jai! Go Premanandi! Thank you all very much for that overview, but don't go because we're going to ask Krishna Ramani to speak for a little while. She's going to share some of her transcendental memories of preaching in France and beyond. Is that right? Would you like to come and sit up here? No. Please. Bring a chair, bring a chair. I know you don't want to sit where I'm sitting. You can purify it. Bring a chair. Bring a chair, please. That was a comfortable chair.
Yes, this one.
That's
why I got up.
That's the king's throne.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm late.
Pardon?
I was visiting.
No, you're not late. We just finished that second. You were late. We're 10 minutes late. We're going to have another little presentation after this, too, by the way. Don't miss it. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be a surprise. Is that right? Kind of.
Yeah.
It's going to be a surprise. Don't leave. Do we need an introduction before we start?
I'll introduce myself.
What do you think?
I can introduce myself.
I believe you can do that.
My name is Krishna Bhamani Dasi, and I'm very grateful to be with all the devotees. Is this turned on?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So my Sankirtan, see, discussing Sankirtan. So my Sankirtan began in 1967. Probably none of you were born then. No. 1967.
Water.
I had never been to San Francisco, and I